This is an advanced technical lecture on disaster events examined through midpoints, the 90-degree dial, and the Uranian trans-Neptunian planets of the Hamburg School. We are working retrospectively and symbolically. These configurations are read as reflections, not causes. The core tools. A midpoint is the exact halfway point between two planets. When a third factor lands on that midpoint within a tight orb, the symbolism of all three combines into one planetary picture. Midpoints are examined on the 90-degree dial, which folds the full circle into four 90-degree segments so that every hard aspect, conjunction, square, opposition, semi-square, sesquiquadrate, clusters into a single visual field. Orbs used here are 1 degree or less. The 8 Uranian planets, or TNPs, are hypothetical points introduced by Alfred Witte and Friedrich C. Grun. Cupido rules groups and social bonds. Hades rules decay, the unpleasant, and toxicity. Zeus rules controlled fire, machines, and combustion. Kronos rules authority and government. Apollon rules expansion and the many. Admetos rules standstill and blockage. Vulcanus rules mighty force and violent eruption. Poseidon rules truth and higher culture. Case 1. September 11, 2001. First impact at 8:46 a.m. Eastern. The defining background was the Saturn-Pluto opposition, exact only weeks earlier. On the 90-degree dial, Saturn and Pluto sit within 2 degrees of each other. The tightest midpoint in the entire study is Hades equals Moon-Saturn at an orb of 0.025 degrees, suffering and decay exactly on the emotional structural axis. Vulcanus near the midheaven speaks of overwhelming force directed at the public standing of the nation. Kronos on the Cancer cardinal point activates governmental and national themes. Case 2, Space Shuttle Challenger, January 28, 1986. The arrow was the Saturn-Uranus conjunction. Pluto sits within 1 degree of the ascendant at launch, death and transformation on the horizon. The midheaven equals Moon-Saturn midpoint is exact within 1/4 of a degree. The public mission carrying the weight of structural emotional failure. Most striking is the Apollon-Vulcanus conjunction within 0.13 degrees. Massive, visible force expanding outward, broadcast to the world. Admetos conjunct Venus echoes the frozen, blocked O-ring failure in extreme cold. Case 3, Chernobyl, April 26, 1986. This is the most TNP-rich chart in the set. Sun and Pluto form a near-exact opposition on the dial. Life force facing nuclear transformation. Zeus conjunct Uranus within less than 1 degree. Controlled fire and machines meeting sudden disruption. Vulcanus is again prominent. The Mars-Uranus midpoint lies near the ascendant and Neptune, placing explosive energy on the horizon and dissolving it into the environment. Across these events, certain patterns recur. Vulcanus appears when overwhelming force is released. Hades appears when decay, toxicity, or profound suffering is central. Zeus appears when controlled technological or military fire escapes control. The 90-degree dial and tight midpoint orbs make these signatures visible with a precision that the ordinary 360-degree chart often obscures. The method is technical, not mystical. Calculate precise positions with a reliable ephemeris, convert to the 90-degree dial, compute midpoints, apply orbs of 1 degree or less, overlay the Uranian points, then read the resulting planetary pictures against the known character of the event. Used this way, the system becomes a refined language for describing collective trauma after the fact, and a training ground for seeing structure in chaos. The remaining cases, the Titanic sinking of 1912 and the Fukushima disaster of 2011, continue the same pattern language. In each, the combination of classical hard aspects with precise midpoint and Uranian overlays produces a coherent symbolic signature that matches the character of the catastrophe. This is the value of the method. Not prediction, but high-resolution description after the event, sharpening the astrologer's eye for structure inside collective crisis.